Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back from the MLG offices in New York City. My name is Axel Toss. I'm joined by Axlab, and you're watching the Acer TeamStory Cup. We got a matchup between Western Wolves and Axiom. We saw Liquid versus Acer earlier today. It was an awesome matchup. Look for it on YouTube a little bit later today, youtube.com/official MLGSE2. But right now, Western Wolves, it's all about San. He's destroyed 3 players from Axiom, and there's only one left. Well, there's one left in Axiom, but of course Axiom has the ability to revive a fallen comrade after this game if San should win. So it's all up to Hart here.
That's right. Of course, Axiom's team, pretty much 4 players. They just added a new player, but I don't think he's eligible to play quite yet.
Right.
Maybe next week or something. Of course, we're talking about Impact, formerly known as Mekia, from the Pro League teams over in Kespa.
Sure.
But for now, it's just, Ryung's already fallen, Alicia fell, Crank fell, and now it's up to Hart. If he falls down, I think they would bring back Ryung, would be my guess on who they bring back. But it's rough, man. And you know what? This is why a lot of people say teams are foolish for sending like one of their top guys out first. But a lot of times it's actually best to send one of your top guys. I think San might be Western Wolves' strongest player. They've got a lot of good players, but I think San might be their best.
Western Wolves is so underrated right now.
But for example, Acer often sends out Innovation in the first one or 2 matches. And one of the big things about sending like your good player out first is if you have if these are very well-rounded player, like a San or Innovation, he's not someone who has a weak matchup, you send him out first, and then that way your other people who are more sniper players can react. Like if your big guy falls, then as long as he wins 1 or 2 matches, your cold match is ahead. So as long as your snipers can take out the one person they're meant to take out, you're gonna win.
So a great example of this is in Pokemon, right? Like if you send Charizard out first, and you have your Venusaur, you have your Blastoise, you have your Pikachu on the bench. You want to send that if it's a really strong Charizard and your opponent is expending all their like if they're gas type units, all their electric type units, then you have your counters ready to go snipe those other Pokemon that come in. So San is the Charizard that is just refusing to die, but is Hart the Blastoise that is super effective against Charizard that Axiom needs right now?
We'll find out. We will find out. We do see, of course, Command Center first from Hart. Very solid opening here. The map is Derelict Watcher. Normal Gateway Expand from... Actually, wait. He got a very fast Nexus. Sorry, that wasn't Normal Gateway Expand. Normal Gateway Expand, you get the Side Core, then a Nexus. He actually got Nexus and Side Core, which is pretty cool.
Oh.
I'd like to see that. Did he scout? He might have scouted the Command Center early, and that was a reaction.
Yeah, I think that has to be
or it could be his build, because as long as you get Gateway, then Nexus, and Side Core, you're usually not in too much trouble against Reaper.
Because the main thing is like either the Stalker or the Mothership Core, both which require the Cyber Core to be finished. So the more you delay the Cyber Core, the later that stuff's going to be. Of course, all this is dependent on gas counts and stuff like that, but I like the idea of the fast Nexus, especially if your opponent is going for a fast Command Center.
Exactly. You probably don't want to do Command Center first anymore. It's a little bit risky, just because if they open Reaper, it's so long before Stalker. But if you already have the Gateway done, it still cuts off some of that time and getting that Cybernex Core up. Now, we are seeing him going again for the same build we saw him use against Ryung in game number 1, the very fast Twilight Council after expansion. We saw, Ryung was able to deal with it fine, the opening. He just, he tried a later timing attack that didn't work, so it was more in the late game that San took him out. But we'll see if Hart is up to the challenge, because this map, again, similar to, I believe it was Star Station they played on, right? No, I'm crazy. It was Yansu, right?
Yes.
It was Yansu.
I think it was Yansu, yeah.
There is a decent opportunity to blink it in the main. I mean, you got this area here you can blink over, and that's a lot of space. To walk from here to cover that zone and then down to your natural, it's a little bit tricky.
Okay, so, it's going to be Dark Templar.
Oh, I lied. It's not going to be blink play. I just kind of assumed it would be. And that's kind of smart, because knowing that he did blinking in the first game, let's say Hart scans the main and sees this. If he, really quickly hits the research blink button and chrono boost it or something, he could totally fool.
Or maybe even start it right now, just in case his opponent scans.
Yeah,
and he can always cancel it.
He could. Yeah, actually, probably could start it right now if he wanted to. That'd be really tricky.
Mind games.
Yep, mind
games, man. Okay, so
and
the biggest issue here is going to be, is his opponent going to build a turret? Is his opponent going to be able to spot the proxy pylon? But sometimes the turret isn't enough, because the DT can still sneak
yeah, there's only one Marine in the bunker. He just runs right by it.
Yeah,
These Marines are here. They can cover it. He's worried about.
And it's not a huge investment. In a time in Wings of Liberty where going Dark Templar would kind of mean you're invested into, you know, doing damage.
Isn't there a guy in here? Yeah, there is.
Is there?
Yeah, there's a guy.
You're joking.
No, look at him. Look at him when it turns around.
Wouldn't
See?
you be
Right
like,
there? Right there?
oh my god, that'd be a terrible job. Imagine how dizzy you'd get over time.
Yeah. He would get really dizzy.
Yeah, dude, like...
Oh!
Oh!
See? Really well done with the DT.
And if a scan happens here, then it's...
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
it's still good to scan, obviously. You don't want to let the DT just sit there forever, but it's not a total waste of the DT. Ideally, he'd get some more. You might be able to just sneak in, get one shot off an SCV and walk away. I mean, I think the missile turret range is just like right here, so the Marines would shoot you once. But if you're quick, they just shoot you once. You duck back, your shields regenerate because they have 80 shields. Actually, that's a lot of Marines. They might just one-shot you. Yeah, they probably would.
Hasn't scanned yet.
I would be a bold DT. I would go for it.
You would?
I would just run it.
I would embrace my invisibility as long as humanly possible.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Is he gonna try to? Oh.
And he has an invisible like sword, double sword.
No.
Okay.
No, he's dead.
All
See,
right.
so we do see Colossi behind it, similar to how we saw San win for this Colossi. Game number 1 as well. This time they're only a single forge getting upgrades, so getting charge as well. Maybe a little bit less glass to play with than he did in last game. And this is an attack by Heart that could be tricky.
It's a nice timing because again, his opponent.
This is nice, though.
While it's not as big of an investment anymore as it once was into DTs, it's still an investment. It's still
He
something
never got a missile turret in the main. This could actually be devastating.
Okay.
Meanwhile, this could be devastating too. Now, he does have some force fields. He has a mothership core somewhere. Or I lied. Yeah, he does. It's hanging around.
It's
All
coming
right,
in.
yep.
Photon overcharge.
Yep. It was waiting because it might want to photon overcharge a natural now.
First 2 medevacs popping out. Oh, the DT is now deployed.
Yes.
He's looking for the turret, and he's not going to see any. There's no. Okay, there's no scan. He's going to pick up the DT.
Oh, great hot pick up there.
Wow, that was
Beautifully
cool.
done. And you can just come back.
San is so good.
Now there should be a turret being built, so he can't keep doing that. You would think.
That would be succumbing to your opponent's will.
That's right. Heart's like, I'm not a coward.
And I don't mean Will, our guy who's pushing the buttons today. I mean San's will.
San's will's pretty
not,
strong.
Not our will. No.
Not our will. San's will.
San's will.
All right, it's coming back again. Oh, it was thinking about dropping it, but too many Marines. I didn't want to risk losing the Warp Prism to a stim and a stutter step forward. Meanwhile, Hart, he never built a third orbital. He's actually going to 5 barracks on 2 base, so he's really 2 base power building. Oh, no, sorry, I lied. He had, actually, I saw it earlier, too. I don't know why I said it. So he's going to come down here. DT is going to check that out. But overall, I think Hart's very happy. DTs have done basically no damage, right? He still hasn't even built a missile turret in the main. He's that confident that he can handle this without needing to. In fact, he's burning scans. Oh, he's trying to keep an eye on what's in a natural. So he sees the Colossus, but he also sees, more importantly, the Templar Warpin and the fact there's no thermal lance.
So many scans.
I think that was in the main, right? Or no, it was kill
it's
DT. Yeah, it was in the DT right here. Or no, it wasn't.
So San has a lot of money right now.
I'm actually really worried for San because Hart figured out his plan. His plan was to hard switch into High Templar.
Yeah.
Like trickily, right? He was going to fake Colossus and go into Templar. But Hart scanned that switch. And now Hart can just hit a timing, you know, right before Storm. In fact, Storm's not even being built. I don't know what San can do against this. I mean, he does have 2 armor upgrades, which is going to help him out.
Oh my god, he's scanning so much. That's like the 7th scan in the past minute.
Yeah, he hates observers. Even though there's not too many out yet, DTs have been just scouting you.
I just hope it doesn't come back to bite him, like if he doesn't have a scan back home or something. But let's see. Big engagement going to happen here. That one of those Colossi is fake, and it's actually absorbing a lot of damage from that Viking. Nice play so far here from San, trying to treat up this ramp, trying to allow the Archons to come forward. Doesn't want those kiting Marines to be effective, so he wants to stay back, wants to let his Colossi and Archons do damage. There are some decent force fields there. Hard trying to make this work, but San he's looking pretty good. I mean, the Vikings are gone. A huge part of that is that hallucinated Colossus. That was great.
It was very important there. You know, finally, this DT got 7 kills, and in the meantime, 8 kills. Yeah. I really thought that Hart would do so much damage there, because what you could do is there's only one Colossus with no range. You can just keep microing, kiting back against his Zelda Archon, right? And you can play the range game with him and just keep kiting him forever. He had a lot of medics with energy, but those like pair of force fields that trapped maybe 15 Marines, all of a sudden that hit a turning point when he lost enough units that San didn't have to keep dancing. He could just charge out after him now. Oh no,
this would be a great pick off here for Hart. He's targeting down the Nexus, getting very low.
gone.
He's stimming again, and the Nexus will end up falling, but at what cost?
not
Not
much.
Bad. Got
Yeah,
out
lost
with a lot
like
of his stuff.
yeah,
And
like
heal all those guys up. They're all in the deep red.
meanwhile, back in the main again. There is a
Fancy.
Templar. Gets
Feedback.
one feedback.
A lot of medevacs.
Yeah, there are. This is gonna be tough. I mean, the Zealots are gonna buy some time. You know, he's just trying to counterattack. I actually like that. If he ran back, he's playing into Hart's game.
Yeah, he's realizing how much his opponent lost and how much his opponent is investing into this aggression.
And he should have no problem holding this off with reinforcements. Now, this will be forced back here. The question is, can Hart hold this attack? If he can, he's definitely way ahead. It really depends on how easily he holds it. If he loses a bunch of SCVs or something. Here come the SCVs.
DT still being sent everywhere. SCVs coming in from every
flanking
location.
from multiple locations.
Oh my god, that's an SCV surround we just saw there. Colossus is going to be very important in this engagement. It's pretty much the massive damage deal. It's getting targeted down though. Nice target fire there from Hart, not being able to finish it off, but a couple Marauder shots going to close that guy out. 5 medevacs coming forward to help out as well, and it looks like Hart should be okay here. I feel like he's enough. No, more charge lots coming in. Archon's still doing a lot of damage with these medevacs.
Yeah, he's got to focus the Immortal. Or no, he has a lot of medevacs, but he lost a lot of SCVs in that engagement.
That's
now,
true. He
I
did
mean,
lose a lot
with rally reinforcements and the medevac count, he should be able to hold this, but I think San knows that. Meanwhile, I missed it. We actually, or no, the third base was killed earlier. He was trying to rebuild it though earlier in the production tab. He saw that behind. I was trying to rebuild it and it was canceled again. So that was actually a very important move for Hart because if that third would have been just finishing now, San is way ahead.
So what's huge
because,
here
I mean, look at the worker differentiation.
Yeah, so Hart, he needs to make this next attack, this next battle worth it. The good news for him is he has like 8 medevacs, which is fantastic. And they have a lot of energy, but he needs a lot of Marines and Marauders with him.
I mean, his advantage is tech advantage, basically. I mean, but he's up against 0-3 with 1-1, so there's a huge upgrade advantage for the Protoss. These Zealots are going to be very tough to kill with
He's
Marines.
got to kite. He's got to stay behind walls. Any shot, any swipe the Zealot gets off on any unit is not so good for Hart.
Yeah, and the hard thing is that the Marines are going to do so little damage. You only do 7 damage per shot with a single upgrade against 4 armored Zealots. That's rough, man. And basically, if San lives to get Storm, San with Storms is
He's got the upgrades. He might have Storm out against pure bio medevac.
I feel like Hart needs to, I'd say pull SCVs and go, but he doesn't really have any SCVs to pull.
So Ghost Academy, I mean, it's like
I don't
what
think
can
he
he fit in where he won't die? Like,
yeah, he can't afford to get Ghost.
He needs a third, first of all. That's the first thing. But how can he get his third, stay alive, and tech appropriately so he can deal with the storm that's going to be incoming from San? The storm is coming, Mr. Nick.
It is coming.
Storm is coming.
Oh, nice. Like, the thing is, his economy, if he can afford to just drop mules, he won't have to scan so much, but...
yeah, no, like...
He doesn't...
That's what took me off guard a little bit earlier. He's been doing so many scans throughout this game. And that's got to affect the mules at one point, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's got to affect
at
the
many
economy.
points.
And I think he's kind of feeling it a little bit right now, maybe.
He absolutely is.
It's just the theory, but, like, turrets are okay to build, I think. Or some sort of... maybe Raven? Dare I say? Dare I say Raven? I know Nick got a little smile when I said that.
I mean, I love Ravens, but...
At this point, no, it's way too late.
There's a time cost, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what he can really do, except for hope for, like, Miracle Micro.
Or only counterattack kind of a thing, just drop everywhere.
Yeah, base race is the way to do it,
base
for
race,
sure.
Yep.
But he's not getting any SCVs, so if you're in a base race, it's to buy time. He's not buying time for anything because there's no workers in production, right? In fact, okay, he's going for a big attack now.
There it is.
The problem is that Storm's
Storm
already
is
done.
And there's no Ghost EMP those guys. I don't even know if Hart knows about these storms. This could be catastrophic. Can San get those money storms? That's what we're looking for.
Oh.
And there's one of them, a huge storm onto those SCVs, Marines and Marauders, taking down so much health. 3 Zealots trying to flank, another High Templar coming forward, and now Hart realizing the disparity? I don't know. He's realizing the gravity of the situation, of how those High Templar are going to one-up everything he has.
He dodged that storm, okay, but his units are getting very low now. It's the second stim he's used before the battle even starts. He's going to get this Nexus. That's nice.
The time warp. Can he go anywhere? Feedbacks can just destroy him.
Oh, no,
and here comes the storm. Shield your eyes. Parents, cover your children. And there are the storms. Oh my god, melting away all this bio. Another storm, and Hart realizing the situation is going to GG. San with another very impressive win.
A storm was coming, man, and Hart could not weather it.
No, he couldn't.
It was absolutely brutal there.
Not have sufficient defenses.
He's putting on a clinic of how to play StarCraft 2.
He's just having fun.
Yeah.
That's what I'm seeing right now.
Yeah.
It's very impressive. It's very impressive. San, he took out Young, he took out Alicia, he took out Crank, and he just took out Hart. He took out everyone on Axiom.
Yes.
but we have a revival. So who do you revive if you're Axiom? Who can go and beat the entirety of Western Wolves?
I think you've got to go Ryung.
I agree.
I think maybe Crank, but I think you got to go Ryung for me. For
Okay.
me, I'll go for Ryung.
Okay, guys, we'll see what happens. You're watching Axiom versus Western Wolves from the Acer TeamStory Cup. My name is Axel Toss. I am joined by Axlab. We're going to take a quick break, but we'll be back with potentially the final game of this series between these two teams. Again, they're number 1 and number 2 in the league right now. Don't go anywhere.